Welcome to the Jefatona podcast. I am your host, Delilah D. This is the place where women can explore what it means to be successful without leaving any part of themselves or their culture behind. In each episode, we talk ambition, we talk expression, and evolution on our own terms. Baby, it is time to get into the episode. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of the Jefatona podcast. I am so excited to have my girl, Christina Sanchez, with me.
I'm so excited to be here.
Fun fact, we actually filmed an episode. She was the first guest I had on this podcast, but, you know, we got a little loosey-goose. I think I still want to use that episode, maybe do like a BTS like later on in the future, because there's a lot of funny stuff that was shared. But we're here, we're reshooting. I'm so excited because you're like, since we met within the last couple of weeks, there's been so much that's happened within your life.
Oh my gosh, so much. But that's like the Tina movie is always going. It's always like...
Yeah, on this episode of the Christina Sanchez show.
That's why I'm always having anxiety and panic attacks, bitch. I'm like, slow down, life, slow down. Like, I'm just kidding.
I feel that. No, but before we get into it, I, you know, the people, they need to know your story. They need to know who is Christina Sanchez. I've known you for, oh my God, since your Queen Diva radio days. Yes. But before we get into that, let's talk about, you know, just a little bit of your upbringing. You know, Christina Sanchez from North Philly, you know.
Yes. I'm a Puerto Rican girl born and raised in North Philly. I went to church in North Philadelphia. And yeah, I just grew up like, you know, a humble, chilling life in the projects, North Philly. Went to church, went to public school.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Kensington High School.
Okay.
That's where I graduated from.
Okay.
And I went to, I forget, Stetson.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in the hood, girl. I was in the hood. But I'm grateful for that because I'm street smart, you know? So I grew up like, you know.
Not just street smart. So one thing about Christina, she is a hustler. So since I've known her, she has like entrepreneurship is in her blood. So one thing, when we met, she was actually a host for Queen Diva Radio. So you had your online radio show. She was basically doing podcasting before podcasting was a thing.
Yes.
So I loved it. So you were, you had your radio show, because I know prior to that, you were in radio. Like you went to school for
Clear
communication.
Channel Radio.
Yeah.
I worked for Chill in the morning. I used to do like his editing back in the behind the scenes and everything. And I worked for La Mega. I was on a show, and it was just like a fun, good time. And then I did the online radio show because no one would hire me to be on a like radio show like in English.
And it's okay. This is why you're like, I'm going to create my own opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah, because I was like doing radio show in Spanish, Latin. It was like easy for me to get a job, but like I wanted to be on air. And I really didn't get that opportunity. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. And I did it, and it was really cool.
So for those who don't know, so the Queen Diva radio show was an online radio show, and it was like pretty much one of its kind.
Yeah.
I mean, at least from what I know in Philly, no one else was doing that. So she had a studio, she had her camera set up, she had her music, you had guests, you had artists coming in all the time. Like she basically made
it was really cool.
Yeah.
I had like really like big name artists, and yeah, it was fun. I built my whole studio set up. I had an online live chat. It was like cool. You know how Instagram is like live and you could chat in there? Sure. It was like that. But I was like so ahead of my time with that. But it was fun. It was awesome.
So that's when we actually first met, because I had, prior to this, I used to have a blog that's called Delilah and Company. And, you know, I was always inspired by you because you were like, you know, Latina in media. And there's not, in Philly at least, there's not that many Latinas in media. So when I came across you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I want to be her friend. I mean, years later, we're friends now.
I know.
But I interviewed her to share her story. And I love, you know what's so crazy now that I'm thinking about it? I'm like going off of a tangent, but we've really been a part of each other's lives through like so many different eras. So the Queen Diva Radio interviewed you. I was just started.
Skills to my life, which is like my creative soulmate.
So it's so crazy how like our worlds collide so many different times. But went on your radio show, talked about your story. You also was selling like merchandise. I remember you was selling like
the t-shirts.
With like the girls on it and stuff. Like again, one thing.
I was just building a brand, and I did Divas Against Bullying, which was really nice. I had Raheem Brock there, and I had Danny Swift Garcia there coming to the schools to like talk to children. Like it was really, really nice.
We highlighted that. Yeah. You wrote a children's book.
Yes.
I used to work at a school, so I brought her in.
Happy every day, guys. Go order it. It's still available at Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, everywhere.
Look at that. I had you come into the school. Your first showcase, in South Philly.
Oh my God, wait, you went there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Because literally, remember, that's how I introduced you to skills, because I used to work at an after-school program.
And I wanted to be a rapper.
So, shout out to Skills, but I used to work with him at after-school program. You were looking for a dancer for your first show, and then I introduced you guys, and he's just become an important part of your life since then.
Like, I love him.
It's so funny so many times that worlds collide, but just something I want to make sure I give you your flowers and let you know, like, I've always admired you. I've always admired just, that hustle spirit you've had inside of you. The person's always making something out of nothing. It's just something that's very admirable. And, you continue to do the same thing now. I know you're starting you've been doing it for quite some time, your artist journey.
Yeah,
so now you transition to music.
I love it. You know what? Looking back at my journey, I'm so proud of myself that I've always gave myself the opportunity to try new things.
Yes.
Like, even when I was terrified and scared, I always gave myself the creative outlet to, you know what? Fuck it, just do it. And, like, that's one thing. When I'm old and gray, I'm going to be like, whoa, at least I didn't deprive myself of, the opportunity to really, like, do what I want to do. And, like, I don't have to say what if, Yeah. But with music, like, I had a great journey with music. I just wish I was more business savvy, because when I got into the music game, like, I didn't really know the business. And for any artist, like, if you're a new artist, you have to learn the business before you start signing contracts. Like, my first music contract was with Sony Music France, and then I had another contract with Empire, and then I had another contract with an investor. I was signing all these contracts, but I didn't really know where my money was going. I didn't really know where, these deals were going. And so, like, now, thank God I'm independent and I've learned the business. I studied the business. So now I'm releasing all my music independently, but I'm distributing through Empire. And, like, I'm in control of what comes in, what goes out, and any new deals that are going to come to the table. So I'm on it now.
No, I'm here for
Nobody
that.
taking my shit no more.
She said, I own everything.
Yes.
So what was the biggest struggle, like, with you entering the music scene, with transitioning? Because you've always been, media, you've done talent, you've done all of that, but transitioning to now to be in front of the camera, in front of the mic, and being an artist, what's been the biggest struggle?
Finding myself, like, finding my sound was, like, a big struggle for me, because, like, I grew up in, like, a melting pot of culture. So I grew up listening to hip-hop, merengue, salsa, reggaeton. Like, I grew up listening to so many different kind of sounds, and I really love the neo-soul sound. It's like a North Philly sound. I really love Latin music because I'm Puerto Rican, I grew up in a Latin household, Puerto Rican household. So it was just really like, which way do I want to go, And, like, finding myself as an artist was probably the hardest thing for me.
But one thing I love, though, you've tried so many different genres. And, it coincides with what you just said right now. Like, you are the pivot queen. Like, you're like, I'm going to try it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
And I don't even care. Like, people are like, this girl's nuts. She's, like, all over the place.
What is Christina doing now? But I love it. Because that's the same thing with me. Like, I feel like I've pivoted so much in my life. Like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Now I'm doing that. I'm doing whatever. But, one thing I know, one of my God-given talents is just like, like, everything I touch does turn to gold. And this is something that one of my friends told me about this. Like, I've done everything from working a nonprofit, from working in tech, working in entertainment, now, even, like, working within a school district, but just now fully invested into my baby, my brand. But it's just, I've done so many different fields, and, like, I've learned so much. But what I really love, and I'm pretty sure the same thing with you, is that every single journey, every single path I've been on, I've been able to take something, and it's all, like, it's fallen to full circle with what I'm doing now, because I was able to gain knowledge in so many different things and then apply it to what I'm doing now. So, while the journey may have seemed crazy, but it's just like... It
all comes full circle. Trust me, it really does. It comes full circle.
That's funny. But no, so, like, if you look up Christina's catalog, she has a range of different music. Like, whether you're doing music...
And I just pivoted to Christina Sanchez because, like, my whole Empire first album is under TXNA. Yeah. But when I got independent, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with Christina Sanchez as my God-given name. And I'm like, all the music I'm going to release now is just something that I'm doing for myself because I just love the art of creating music.
Yeah.
you know, and wherever it goes, but I'm happy.
I'm
just happy that I'm doing it.
I remember when you first dropped Summertime with Egyptian. That was literally, it is still one of my all-time favorite summer songs. I play it religiously every single song.
Oh, I love you for that. Thank you.
Like,
you know, they play it in Paris every summer too.
Really?
Yeah. My girlfriends were in Paris and they sent me a video. Oh my God, they're playing your song at dinner in Blanc in front of the Eiffel Tower outside. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
It's such a good, feel-good song. And I think we had a conversation about this before. Like, you actually didn't really like the song, right?
No, I didn't like my delivery, but like Egyptian, I was in a studio with Egyptian. He's like, no, you gotta do this. You gotta do it like this. Like, so he had me kind of singing like his language, like patois a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you
where
know,
they
like,
at?
yeah, where they at?
Tell me where I'm at that girl's at.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
It's literally one of my favorite songs. So like, if y'all haven't listened to, like, look it up. Egyptian and Christina Summertime.
YouTube.
I religiously play this every single summer. It is one of my favorite.
And that was such an amazing experience, girl. Like the way all that like happened, like that's when I got my deal with Sony Music France. They flew us out to Jamaica. We shot the music video in Jamaica, and like just being able to follow your dreams will give you so many experiences. Even if I don't blow up and, you know, become the next big thing, that's fine. Like, but the experience is the winning thing. You know what I mean? Like Sony Music flew me to Jamaica. I'm in Hellshire Beach fucking recording a video with Egyptian and all these beautiful, amazing people like eating fried fish, learning the culture. And this is all like just because I made a fucking song. Yeah. You know? It was amazing. Like it was something I'll treasure for the rest of my life.
One thing that I love about you, and I know this is something that's really important to me too, is just like you're adamant about being present in the moment. Yes. And this is something, I mean, I tell people all the time too, because like you said, I think it's very important. You mentioned, what if I don't blow up? Whatever. I don't know. But what I do know is I had an amazing time in Jamaica. Yes. I got
like
the
journey.
Like, the journey.
The journey is exciting. And I'm just like, wow, like I really do this for myself because I really love it. Even now, like my Spotify streams aren't a lot of streams, but I listen to my own music and I'm like, wow, I fucking sound good. Like, damn, I impressed my damn self. I'm like, shit. I'm like, it's cool. The world will catch up one day, but like, there's some good shit right here. Yeah, no. And I'm like, I did this myself. I fucking recorded it myself. I got it done myself. I wrote my shit with my producer. And I dropped it myself. I own my label. And like, this is amazing. Like, it's such a beautiful journey.
I think that's so important for anyone that's listening too. Like, you know, we are always so caught up in like the end result. We're so caught up at accomplishing this goal, hitting that milestone, doing all that. But it's just like when you so focus on just like the end result of everything, you miss out on just like the gratitude you can be feeling for like the little milestones you're hitting now, the little moments of accomplishments and stuff. So, I mean, that's something that I'm very adamant about. Like, you know, as you know, like I start my mornings, like practicing gratitude. Like I always post it every single day. Like I have my 5-minute journal. What are the 3 things I'm grateful for? Like, you know, what are 3 things I want to happen today, whatever. But it's so important to emphasize like practicing gratitude on a day-to-day basis. Because one thing, life is gonna be life.
Yes.
Life is gonna throw a roadblock, all of that. And it's just like, you know, the stress is always gonna be there. And it's just, you know, just learning how to appreciate your journey.
Yes.
There's so much beauty in that. And that's something that I love about you. Again, like you're
you.
so adamant about that. You're so free. Like if you guys follow Christina, I mean, make sure you do so now, if you're not doing so. But you're just, one thing I love about you, like you're literally just free.
Yeah, I'm definitely a free spirit. That's for sure. Yeah. It gets me into trouble sometimes. But like,
like what?
like chill, man. Slow the fuck down. But my higher self has been talking to me lately. So like I'm doing this thing where like talking to myself as my higher self. Like I know it sounds really fucking weird.
No, not at all.
But like
it's a safe space here.
Yeah. Like I've been usually like talking to myself as if I was my higher self and where I want to be. Like, okay, wait, this is not gonna work for us right now. Like, do this, Christina. Do that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of been working for me.
Like, so future Christina, like the person you envision.
Yeah, like the story I told you earlier. So my higher self was like, no, bitch, he's a narcissist. Doesn't matter who he is. Get rid of him. Don't text him back. That was my higher self telling me that, you know?
No, we were actually just having a conversation before we started recording about a situation that both of us were in. And it's so funny. We just had a full moon this past weekend. And I'm like, yo, it's that full moon energy that's right now because we're both shit over it. And we're being transparent. But.
Yes. And you know, like, I feel like you're probably like an empath like I am.
Girl.
You're probably really sensitive.
I'm very sensitive. Yeah. You know what? I've learned for all my other sensitive girlies that are listening, it is okay to be a sensitive girl. Like, I've learned to acknowledge it. There's so much beauty in having feelings. There's so much beauty and being able to see and feel the world deeply and feel others. You know, realistically speaking, it is a cold world out there. There's really a lot of people that are walking around guarded, dark clouds, you know, just trying to, you know, misery loves company, all that stuff. But it's just like, you know, that's not how I want to operate. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, people think like everything is just like all sunshine and rainbows over here. It is not.
Yeah, no, not for anybody. Not for anybody.
Not for anyone. Life be trying me. Life don't curveballs. be curveballing. But, you know, I'm just like, I still operate at a space of love. Yeah. Do I come across people that want to take advantage of me? Absolutely.
Oh,
do I come across people?
I'm the queen of people want to take advantage of me. Because when people actually meet me in real life, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so nice. Yeah. I'm so generous. I'm so nice. I would really like take care of somebody. But you know what? It's really fucked me over a lot of times. So like now I walk like kind of cautiously. Now I'm like, you know.
And I hate that you have to do that though. But in a sense, like, see, and this is where I always go back.
Is cautiously even a word?
No, it's your word. But no, I can, you know, attest to, like, that's exactly who she is. Like, who you're seeing on camera. A lot of people may judge her or whatever. Now, until they meet her and they're like, wow, like, she is literally just like this big ball of love and energy. That's exactly who Christina is.
But like, you are too. That's how we get along.
That's why we're like, and for the first time we met, we're like,
yeah.
But, you know, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because this is something that I've even struggled with too. So as someone that, you know, all I know is how, like, you know, I move out of love. That's who I am. Right. You know, I operate out of love. Like, you know, it's just like, I'm like this, I give it out because it's what I want to receive. Right. But then also, like you said, like, there are people that take advantage of that. And, you know, there are people that take advantage of the fact that I'm so giving, the fact that, like, I'm going to look out for you, the fact that whatever. And it's just like, I always struggle because when they do take advantage, like, I'll just be like, all right, I'm just going to let it go. It's just another lesson learned. It's, you know, God's going to handle it and stuff. But at the same time, I feel like I just really want to call out people sometimes. Yeah. And it's just, I mean,
especially like when you're like a nurturing person, like especially like it hurts so much when you're in a relationship and like your partner like kind of takes advantage of the fact that you're such a nurturing person or you're an empath or you're sensitive. Like those are like the worst type of feelings.
Girl, I had I was in a situation previously, and again, it's who I am, nurturing. You know, you need something, I got you. I look out, whatever. And then they had the nerve to like kind of like throw it in my face like afterward, because they were just like, well, I didn't ask for any of this. Like, you didn't have to do this. Like, you didn't have to. I'm like, and it made me feel bad, and then trying to make me feel like I was trying to manipulate them because of how I was looking out for them. Because I was trying. I'm like, wait, and then it sucks because then I got into my head was like, was I doing that? And they try to throw, I guess, like a popular term now is like love bombing, and then it's just like, oh, you're just giving people gifts or you're doing all this, but I'm like, nah, like that's just,
you were just being sincere.
I was just being, this is who I am. Like I wasn't. There was no strategy behind it. There was no whatever. Like you was going through something. I'm looking out, whatever, blah blah blah. And then when I brought up, because I'm like, bro, like I did so much of this, and then like the media was just like, well, I didn't ask for any of this. Like you didn't have to do any of that. You didn't have to.
That's the thing. How I used to be, like people would like vent to me and tell me their problems, and I would want to fix it for them right away. I'd be like, oh here, well you need money, you need this. I don't do that no more. I don't even lend out money anymore. Like I hate lending people money because like chances are I'm not gonna get it back. Yeah. Like, and that's it. Like it's gotten to a point where pretty much the people who used to ask me to borrow money, they don't anymore because they know I'm gonna say no. Yeah. You know, and like let me like go somewhere else with this though, but like how you said like you start to realize like the world is really really cold. Like lately, like my whole fucking mind about the world has changed in like the most craziest way, and I move different in every aspect because like right now where there's like a whole genocide going on, like you don't have to put this on the show, but like,
no girl, we gonna talk about Gaza. Yeah, we gonna talk about that.
I mean, yeah,
never sorry about that.
Well, like that kind of made me realize that like people are evil. Like the world doesn't really care. Yeah. Like how, like, it's just so fucked up and mind boggling to me how like thousands and tens of thousands of children could be like murdered, and like
and people just look the other
still
way,
going, like there's still a Met Gala, there's still things going on, like they're still, and like we're all humans. Like if fucking aliens came one day, we're all gonna stick together to kill the aliens. You know what I mean? And I just feel like like, I was so sick when it first started, and I was looking at all the things.
I remember we were both like talking about that like heavily.
Yo, I couldn't even sleep. I was waking up in the middle of the night shaking by all the shit that I seen like on Instagram. Like, I was waking up like in a cold sweat, like shaking like with panic attacks and anxiety attacks that I had to like get off of Instagram for like a little while. But like, it just really goes to show you that like you have to really protect yourself and your children, because this world is really, really sick. It's diabolical. Like, we can literally see a whole genocide going on our phone, and like
go watch a show right afterwards.
Yeah, but there's so many like people who have influence, who have power, and they don't want to speak on it, and they don't want to like stop it. So it's kind of like crazy. Like, oh my God, it's just so weird. I don't know. It's like the dystopia of everything is like kind of creepy to me. Like, it's just scary.
No, it is. I mean, this is something I know we talk about this heavily. It's just like the whole concept of it's just like, how do you manage your mental health when there's just so much BS going on? Yeah. Because at the same time, it's just like, it also is, we understand our privilege. Right. And there's something, we have to talk about that. So it's okay to say like, yo, like we're privileged as fuck. Yeah. You know, how do you find like that happy medium between like.
Yeah. Because I still have to show up as a mother. Yeah. I still have to show up and be responsible and do my things. Like, so I had to like kind of like, you know, I did a lot. I've been donating. I've been calling my state representatives. Like I even went to the march in Philly, like the protest march and everything. And it's just like, sometimes you just feel so small when like things like that are going on and you have no control over it. Like, how are the people in power like able to like let this go? Like, how? Like, if you see this shit, like now you know anything is possible. Yeah. Like, you literally know, like, if those kids in Gaza are not safe, nobody's kid is safe. Like, period. Like, because if these motherfuckers can't stop that shit, who's to say that China and Russia can't throw a nuclear bomb on our children over here? Yeah. And like, who's gonna like, nobody's safe. Like, if we can let 20,000 children be murdered like that, literally nobody's kid is safe. And that's really the reality of like the world right now. And I'm sorry to get so deep. But
no, girl, don't ever apologize for that.
It's like really real shit. Like, it's not a joke.
No, it's not. And again, like, you know, it's always, like you said, it's a dystopian society that we live in right now. Yeah. And it's kind of weird. Yeah. Because again, like, even just on my way over here, you scroll in and you see that and I'm like, all right. Again, I understand the privilege. Like, I need to get that out of my head because we're about to film a podcast right now. So it's just like, you know, they don't have the privilege to do that. They don't have the privilege. Like, oh, I don't want to think about the bombs right now. You know, it's all around me. But
it's so crazy because like you're seeing this stuff, and then you're seeing Fashion Week stuff, and on my timeline is like Gaza and then Fashion Week, and then you see these like, oh my God, these like super privileged celebrities, and like right there on the other side of the world is like. Boom.
Is that something that you think, so now just talking about that with you, especially now going into the, you know, the music industry, now you being an independent artist, not underneath a label or anything, and you're very open. You're very open speaking about this, especially on your social media. Do you feel like this is something, like, are you ever scared that you're going to get backlash?
I don't give a fuck. Good for you. Girl, I had so many people unfollow me. Like, I literally had so many people unfollow me. I've argued with close friends about this that was like, you know, saying that it was okay for Israel to do these things. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. What? I don't want to be friends with people who are not human. I don't care, because for me, like, if you don't have empathy for these children, you're not human. You're some type of fucking alien from another planet, or you're like a demon. There's like a demon in you. If you can actually look at what's going on and say that that's okay, then you're not right in the head. Like, and that's the truth. That's like the God honest truth. You can actually say that over 20,000 children being murdered, it's okay because they're fighting a war, and you're stupid enough to think that it's an actual war, not a genocide. It's okay because
of hostages. Yeah, there's hostages.
You're sick. You're sick in the head, guys. It's a genocide. Like, it is what it is. Like, you have to do your research. You have to be smart. Like, there's so much research out here nowadays that, you know, and I love Jewish people. This has nothing to do with Jewish people. This has everything to do with the Zionist government. Absolutely. And Netanyahu and his crazy extreme government. You know what I mean? Has nothing to do with Jews. There's plenty of Jews that are advocating for Gaza as well. So, like, I'm not scared. I don't care. I want to be myself. And if people love me, they have to love me for who I am. That's it.
Look, this is, again, I say over and over again, I love how free-spirited you are. It's very admirable. And again, like, I love that you're never someone that's like, oh, I'm going to follow the herd. I'm going to follow. Like, no, like, I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to talk about things I like, and I'm going to talk about things that I don't like. Yeah. And yeah, like, again, you know, just to point out the fact is, like, how do you operate as someone who's an empath, as someone who wants to move in love, but just also knowing that, like, it's a fucking dark world out there. Yeah.
It's like scary. Like lately, like during this whole genocide, I've been having like a lot of panic and anxiety attacks. Like my panic attacks and anxiety attacks been through the fucking roof. Just because like I have to like witness a whole genocide. Like I feel like suing the fucking government. Like I'm sorry, we should all do a class action lawsuit. Like you're forcing us to witness the whole genocide. You're literally not protecting the innocent children in Gaza. Like you see all the kids being amputated. You see a head like blown off of a baby. Like this is not okay.
Yeah.
Like my anxiety attack has been through the roof. Like sometimes I have to just detox from Instagram. But you know, those children don't have the privilege to do that.
Absolutely.
And me as a mother, like I love my beautiful daughters. I love children. You know, it can be anybody's children. Who's to say it can't be our children?
Yeah.
You know, and like I feel like humans should operate from a place of love. Love should be our religion. You know what I mean?
But, you know,
and our race should be humanity.
Money is the religion, and that's the reason why this is even going on. And you know, when you get like deep into it, it's really just money. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But, you know,
we just went all the way.
No, I'm here for it. I am, you know, this is hashtag Free Palestine all day, every day. I've never been shy to talk about that. You know, this is something I've incorporated into my events, making sure we're taking moments to honor the Palestinian community and stuff. So, I mean, again, thank you for always, you know, using your voice, using your platform.
Thank you for letting me.
Of course. Girl, you know, I'm here for it. I am here for it. You know, it's just, and again, just kind of like, you know, not to like stray away from that too much, but how do you, and this is for a lot of people too, just like that's listening right now. How do you operate? How do you operate and move in a place out of love when there's so much dark and evil in the world? So it's just like, you know, it's so important to like, you know, be intentional about our mental health. It's so important to be intentional about just like how we're showing up and serving others too. So, you know, and again, like this is not, it's not a us thing. I mean, it's not like, you know, but like still like how are we showing up for the Palestinian community? How are we showing up, you know, for those that are like severely affected by this as well? Yes, we're affected as bystanders, but you know, those that have family members, those that are there. So it's just like, you know, something for you guys to consider as well too. Like, you know, we can be like, oh my God, these posts make me sad, but like you have like family members that are literally like, you know, struggling just to even reach like their family members on a day-to-day basis who have not been able to sleep since October 7th, basically. So, yeah, you know, again, this is always going to be, we're always going to be for Palestine here. And you know what's crazy, just kind of going into this, and then we'll go into the next topic. So when I was in college, I was part of the exec board for Students for Justice in Palestine, right? Wow. Yeah, in Penn State, my friend Heather was the one that took me to my first meeting. I had no idea about what was going on. So this was back in 2010 when I went into my first meeting. So it's 2024 now. So I was just like, you know, my friend, we were coming back from, because I was on the exec board for NAACP too, our student chapter as well. And then she was like introducing me, because she's half Palestinian. And she knows that she's like, you know, you're always
going on for decades. Girl,
and that's you know,
the thing I didn't know that because I was raised in church, and my mom's always like, oh, Israel is the God's chosen people and all this. And I'm like, Now that I have a mind of my own and I'm not brainwashed, and that's what I'm grateful for, that the world is starting to know like what's going on. Like there's no way you're gonna sit here and say those are God's chosen people. We're all God's chosen people.
What's crazy again? Like this
I'm not gonna believe any other race is better than like any other. Like we're all God's people. You know what I mean? And that's it. I was just like, no, mom, you lost, girl. You brainwashed. I had to really sit my mom down.
This was a recent conversation you had with her?
And tell, like, break it down to her. Because a lot of Christians think that, you know what I mean? Israel
because it's in the Bible. You know,
Yeah, but it's just like the government is a whole different entity. So
no, but again, like this has been going on for years. I was a college student when I first learned about it. And I remember I was doing the protests, like we did the sit-ins and everything. It would just be like 6 to 10 of us maybe, right? And then every time when we'll do like a protest, like obviously like there will be lots of arguments between like the Zionists, students in the campus, but you know, we'll do our protests and stuff. But seeing like the college students now, like, you know, seeing the fact that Students for Justice of Palestine, you know, are like those chapters are being kicked out of schools, being now, it's crazy. And I'm just like, yo, like seeing the students that are, the colleges that are, they're protesting, now they're not able to walk or they're being kicked out of school. I'm like, yo, I used to protest in college, and this was like when it wasn't even, I don't want to say a thing, but like, there wasn't that much, media coverage, happening, but
there
the
wasn't
fact that
any
I used to do that,
awareness.
but I wasn't scared. The fact that I'm gonna get arrested, I'm gonna get whatever, but it's just so crazy. I mean, so this is really salute to all of the college students now that are brave enough, especially those.
No, they're amazing.
Just think about it. This is
heroes.
This is 2020.
They're literally heroes.
This is 2024. The class of 2024. They didn't even get a high school graduation because of COVID in 2020.
Right.
So a lot of them didn't get a high school graduation. Now they're not getting a college graduation because they're getting kicked out for protesting.
It's sick.
So it's
but this
crazy.
is the land of the free, freedom of speech.
Girl.
So it's just goes to show you where we're headed. You know what I mean?
But
it's scary.
On that note, there's a lot of shit we can't control. There's a lot that there's a lot that's out of our hands. But it's just like only thing we can control is just like ourselves and how we operate on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. But still, just like not showing up for yourselves and just always think about like how can you utilize. And it's not like, oh, you have to donate thousands of dollars. Like, no, it's like, how can you show up? How can you use your voice?
Donate what I can.
Yeah, so not stressing yourself out to that. But, yeah, just think about different ways. And, I mean, not just, the Palestinian community. There's a lot of communities in different countries that are impacted in so many different ways, shapes, and forms.
Congo. That's another one. I donate there, too. I follow Shaka Bars and on Instagram. And he's doing a lot of things in the Congo. But there's just so much injustice in the world.
Yeah, girl.
But
it's a lot. Yeah. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
Again, this is something that we had to do, is just acknowledge our privilege. Yeah. I mean, as sad as it sounds, but we do have privilege in so many different ways. But again, just like, what can we do to utilize our platforms? What can we do just to utilize our voices? Or what can we do in general just to, try to help out in whatever way we can, even if it's something as simple as sharing a post, even if something as simple as engaging in the people that are currently going through this, or just, showing acknowledgement and stuff.
And even just educating yourself.
Yeah.
Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure.
I
love this, But this is why I love Christina. This is why, like, we've always...
Because you never know what you're going to get out of me. You might get that.
I'm with it, though. Because, no, this is something that, I feel like we're aligned in so many different ways. Because we're so passionate about life in general and just, like, living life and honoring life. But it's just, like, not just our lives. It's also the lives of others as well. So it's just, it plays a part, just, like, us being the empaths that we are.
And selfless human beings,
For sure. So going from there.
Yes. Let's lighten things up a little bit over here, guys.
See? But then, but when you talk about that, and it's like, fuck, like now it's just, you see how that's such a privilege for us to be like, all right, now we can talk about something else now.
Yeah, that's a huge privilege, But we still got a show to do.
I know.
You got to show up for your show and your audience.
No, for sure. I mean, guys, for those that are listening, the story's not over there. The war is not over. I'm not even saying the war. The genocide is not over.
No, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to post about it again.
So continue
to,
do what you can, even if you feel like it's not much, something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of going off of that, just, being an empath in a very dark world.
Girl, you'll spiral so quick.
It's all the time. Everything will be fine and dandy, and all of a sudden it's just like, now I'm crying because I just saw this, I just saw that.
Oh my God, girl, yes. No, really, straight up.
No, that's literally me all the time. So you're not alone in that. Hashtag free Palestine.
Yes.
That's it. All day, every day.
Yes.
But yeah, just kind of going from there, just, we gotta make the best of our lives. We really we really have to. We have to be very intentional.
So how's your dating life, girl? Let's talk.
Girl. I want to go from one sad topic to another sad topic.
You know what? Same.
No, girl.
My dating life sucks right now.
I know. I actually just recently entered the dating scene. Within the last year or so. Mm-hmm. So I think I talked about this in another episode. Maybe not have gone in depth, but I've been single for over 10 years. I think like 12 years probably. Yeah, I've been single for over a decade. I barely dated. I've literally and it's so funny because a lot of people are like, what? I always get the same
You're working
reaction.
on yourself.
Yo, literally. I've gone maybe on... I can probably count on a hand and maybe a half of how many dates I've been on within the last 10 years. Because I've just I've really just been on this journey that, again, I'm so intentional about just my healing journey, intentional about just trying to become the best version of myself, intentional about unpacking and unlearning a lot of my toxic traits that didn't start with me. Toxic traits that started with my family lineage and that passed down onto me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just like going through all of that, going through just, my therapy, going through my walk with God, going through just like trying to learn how to love myself in a way I haven't done before. I just never felt like I was ready for a partner. Right. So like now that I'm like, I think I'm pretty far ahead of my healing journey. Yes. I think I'm okay because
you look amazing. You're glowing.
Thank you. Because it's just it's crazy how I feel like a lot of people they go into these relationships not being healed or looking for someone to heal them, looking for someone to add to them, looking for someone. But I've always in my head I'm like I want to be like a whole person. Then I have whoever my partner is. Them be like, their whole person, because we're going to be setting a new standard moving forward. Yeah. Transparently speaking, what's crazy is that I actually I had like a very long conversation with my grandmom this past week, and we were like crying, like we were talking for like an hour, and we were going into I grew up watching, like, seeing a lot of loveless marriages, basically. I grew up seeing a lot of, like, just, I adore the women in my family. I adore, I appreciate for, like, how they raised me. They've always been a strong woman. But I don't like any of the relationships I witnessed growing up. And I just felt like, and this starts with my grandmom too. Yeah. Like, everyone is always just like, oh my God, your grandparents have been married for over 50 years. That's beautiful. That's a blessing. That's
whatever. I don't glamorize those relationships that were so long together, but there was so much abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse or whatever. I don't know the case in your grandparents, but
she was abused. And realistically speaking, my grandmom has not been happy. Like my grandmom, they kind of got married because it was kind of a necessity, and it was just like, it was kind of a forced marriage, but my grandmom has not been happy. Like they'll have like their little moments and stuff, but she lives for her children. She lives for her grandchildren. My grandfather, he has his own demons. They're with each other. He's a different person now compared to who he was years ago. But realistically speaking, my grandfather was a drunk. Like, he was just like, he beat on my grandmom a lot heavily. So mentally, emotionally abusive. And but my grandma, she took it all, and and there was a point. I'm here to share my family tea, but when my grandfather came to this country, he was here for like 5 years on his own. But during the 5 years that he was here, so my family, they're from Peru. My grandmom ended up falling in love with someone while he was here. So this guy, and my aunts talk about him too, like. He was such an amazing guy.
He was the love of her life.
He was the love of her life.
And she missed out on true love.
He was the love of her life. He treated her kids like my aunt will even cry about this. Like the emotional connection that they had. Like he poured into my grandma. He poured into like her kids, my aunts, my uncle, and like they have the best memories with him. But then when my grandfather was ready to bring them over to the United States. Like, literally, my grandma, like, didn't even tell him. He left to work one day, and she packed up, whatever they could in a suitcase, and they left. So he came home to an empty house, and that still haunts her to, like, to this day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that was literally the love of her life. But
she had to hurt him to...
She did what she had to do because for her kids. Yeah. And this is like, there's a lot of different immigrant stories of people leaving their whole lives behind, because like they want to give to their kids. They want to give to their kids. Like even though my grandma was never happy with my grandfather.
To give her kids a better life. Yeah, so she sacrificed her own happiness.
She sacrificed her own happiness.
That's
so,
deep.
When I tell you, me and my grandma, like we were like crying because my grandma doesn't talk about her past too much. And then, I did tell her, like, because she always tells me that she's proud of me. She's proud of the fact, that I'm living my life. I'm building my career. I travel, whatever. But we do talk about relationships at times. And we got into a real in-depth conversation about relationships. And I told her, I was honest. I was like, look, I've been so adamant about my own healing journey. And I'm so picky right now. But, with good intention of, like, whoever I'm going to be in a relationship with. Because, like, I want to set a new standard for, like, my family. I want to set a new standard that, like, when people look at us, they see that God-fearing love. When people look at us, they're like, wow, like they are generally wholeheartedly like in love with each other. Like, that I just like people just smile. They're happy to be around us. Like, I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
And
I know deserve that.
I feel like we all deserve that. Yeah. We all deserve that. And I told my grandma, I'm like, I didn't see that growing up. Like, I didn't see that with anyone.
I feel you so deeply on that. because I think that's really like where I went wrong, like in my life, watching a horribly toxic relationship growing up. Like I literally saw my mom and dad go through so much. It was horrible. And it's like, no, like I'd rather raise my daughters like as a single mother and I'm happy and I'm free and I'm glowing than have my daughters watch the shit that I had to watch when I was a kid. Like I literally saw my dad beat my mom. Like I literally saw my mom gushing blood out of her nose from after my dad hit her. Or I would see my dad on alcohol, like, or coked up. Like back then, coke was a big thing and it was horrible to see. Oh my God, it was a nightmare growing up and like seeing that shit. Like a beautiful little princess like me should have never experienced that growing up. You know what I mean? And that causes like a little bit of, you know, like it causes like a little trauma when you grow up and then you actually get into your own relationships and then you think certain things are acceptable because you've never seen, you know, never seen, you know, better. You know what I mean? But I thank God for my mom. She's an amazing woman. She always had us beautifully dressed, always had us like decked out, taken care of. My mom's always been a strong woman. She never drank alcohol. But I wish she was a little stronger to walk away from my dad. Like I would have much rather see my mom single and thriving than seeing her what she had to go through like growing up.
No, that's real. But you know, this is something that we see, especially, you know, a lot within like the Black and brown community in general, is just the selfless sacrifices. And we always hear about, and that's something that I want to change with me. Like, I don't want to be making sacrifices for my children. I don't want to, like, I feel like, you know, with me, that this is paying homage to my ancestors. Is just like not having to live a life that I have to sacrifice. Yeah. You know, I want to live a life that like I'm not just on survival mode, because that's all I saw growing up. Yeah. Like I want to just like, no, I don't want my children to see me surviving, just trying to make it by. Like I want my children to see me thriving. I want them to see like I want them to experience that. And I was just like, I feel like a lot of, you know, within our communities, we were robbed. So many of us were robbed of that because, again, obviously, you know, societal standards and, you know, just like with how everything is just set to hold us back, whatever, and the government being against. Like there's so many things that, you know, you can go in depth about it, but we were robbed of like joy. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, that's something that's been so important for me. It's just like really operating out of space of joy and, you know, being intentional about that, because like that's something that for like decades. Yeah. And it's so crazy because conversation like joy, but all of that was robbed from us. So that's why I'm like, this is how like I'm paying.
Deep when you put it like that. Yeah. Because now that I think back, I'm like, oh my God, like, wow, like you're right. Like we were robbed of a lot of things that we shouldn't have experienced. Like we could have been so fucked up right now, like mentally, and like we could have went down the wrong path easily just by the things that we were exposed to. Like I grew up in North Philly. Like I seen a person in front of me get shot. Like you know how crazy that is to like see a 17-year-old boy being shot like literally right in front of you just because you're living on a fucked up block. You know what I mean? Like I witnessed so much shit from like a toxic household, marriage, to, you know, and I love my parents. I'm really close with my mom and my dad now. I love my family too. Like I love them so much. Like my dad is not the person he used to be. You know, my mom is so much stronger now. But like I saw that my mom was like a healing, nurturing woman, and that's how I am. I'm a nurturing person. But when you're that nurturing, you attract a lot of like broken people. You know what I mean? And like she really put up with my dad's shit. And yeah, she should have never did that. She should have just walked the other way. And I would have much rather grow up with like a single mom who was happy. Like me, I'm single, but I'm so happy. Like my household is very peaceful. My daughters have traveled the world with me. Like I don't play that. Like we're going out. We're going on vacations. We're partying together. We're chilling. Like I'll be right at a beach club with my baby, having a cocktail and getting her a mocktail. Like I was just in Puerto Rico at the pool in El San Juan Hotel. I got myself a little mimosa. I got my baby a mocktail. You see my 3-year-old baby drinking a fucking pina colada mocktail, and I'm drinking my cocktail, and we're just having a good time. You know, and they're gonna learn how to enjoy life. Obviously, she's not gonna be a fucking alcoholic, but
no, I love that. No, and again, I mean, I love that you emphasize the fact that like, yo, like I've seen my mom not happy in a relationship. I don't want that for me. And I think, and again, like this is not just my family. This is like friends. It's a lot of people that I see that are just in loveless partnerships or marriages, but they're with each other for the sake of convenience. They're with each other for the sake of their children.
And
they're with each other
mistakes. And I'm just like over that. Like the life experience, when I process everything, I'm like, no. Like even with my ex, like it was so toxic. I was like, why did I stay for so long? Yeah. Like, but that was my first time actually experiencing like a narcissistic individual. Like he was so diabolical. And now like it's cool. Now I know. Like the first little line, the first little red flag I see of narcissistic behavior.
Gotta go right now.
I like you, but you want to be like, no.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard to find a partner.
No, it is.
I mean, I'm not looking, but you know, I'm so intelligent now. My guard is so up that like you gotta come correct.
No, absolutely. That's it. Absolutely. I mean, everyone should be coming correct with everyone in general.
Yeah.
I just. Yeah. This just era again. I've only just entered the dating scene. I've only been on 3 dates. I mean, dated three people within like the last year. Within the last year that I started opening myself up to dating again, and yeah, but still the horror stories I hear from my friends. It's a lot.
It's but and then everybody's beautiful nowadays. Like there's so many beautiful women. You go on Instagram, guys have so many options.
Yeah.
So it's like
I mean, social media does definitely it plays a part in just like how the decline of just I would say the quality between, of men and quality of women, because realistically speaking, like you said, not just social media, but there's dating apps. So like you always feel like there's an abundance of women, there's an abundance of men, there's an abundance of data, there's an abundance really of people in general.
People sometimes don't get along.
Yeah.
Like you might meet this amazing, gorgeous man and his energy, like you just might not get along. Like I met this gorgeous guy and the energy was really, I don't know. Like I'm such an empath, I feel energy that like, I was just like, I can't. I woke up and I was like, I gotta go the fuck home. Like, get me to the airport right now.
No, that's crazy. There's one time, and I mean, this is like a little TMI, but I hooked up with someone. Yo, but this is what I'm saying.
TMI moment. Because I've been TMIing too, bitch.
But no, this is what's crazy about the exchanging of energy. So a lot of people don't understand, especially when you have sex with someone, like the soul ties that happen. So like when you have sex with a toxic person, people like to joke around like, oh yeah, toxic sex is the best sex or blah.
No.
Like yo, you're literally getting their energy. Like you guys are exchanging energies with one another. So like we said, I'm an
felt
empath.
like when I was with him, like in Miami, like I felt like after we like made love or whatever, like it was too like. I just was like, I don't know, this guy's gorgeous and everything, but there's something off with his energy.
Girl,
like,
no.
I couldn't even like sleep next to him. Like I had to go. Like I woke up, I was like, I gotta go to the airport. I'm gonna go home.
Girl,
I'm telling you, this man is the most beautiful man probably on the planet.
With this guy, I woke up and I literally threw up. And I threw up. But no, it's funny now.
Like they're players or something.
It's literally because, and mind you, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't high, I wasn't whatever. I woke up and I threw up because that's how toxic I felt.
Like you felt like you get all their like energy, like their, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I need to be with
It was a little bit after that when I started my abstinent journey, but I was just like, I
me
can't
too.
be doing
After
it.
that, I was like, I'm gonna be celibate. I was like celibate for like 6 months or something.
Girl, I was celibate for over 2 years.
That's good.
I know.
Girl, you know what? I realized that I need sex.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a grown-ass woman. Like, I need to squirt. I need to come. I'm sorry.
Look, you understand your wants and your needs, and that's totally fine.
You know what? I was just recently celibate, but I'm not celibate anymore.
Dating, we're just taking it day by day. That's all it is. You know, I'm in a space, again, like, I'm just in receiving mode. I'm really, like, whatever God wants for me, we just gonna take it day by day. But, yeah, the 3 people I was talking to, no, didn't go anywhere.
I know. No, the worst thing, the guy, I Googled you. I'm like, no way.
Oh my God.
I can't do the Google thing.
So here's the thing. I mean, it is 2024. So I know like you were talking to someone recently and then they had mentioned that they Googled you and it made you a little uncomfortable. But realistically speaking, we're going to do some research of like the person we're talking to. Like, do you not want to do research?
Like it only hurt my feelings because I think it was just too much. And I wasn't even like thinking about the Google thing. Like for me, like, I don't know. I don't Google people. So I don't think that people's out here Googling me. Like, you know what I mean? So that what just threw me off and it hurt my feelings because I really liked him a lot. I was like, oh my God, like this guy is gorgeous. He's older than me, which is great. He's just a beautiful, intelligent man. Like his whole essence and energy. Like I love that. I mean, I loved it. You hear me? I love that.
Yeah.
And so when he told me that he Googled me and he started asking me questions about my past, it was kind of triggering.
Yeah.
Like, it was just something that I wasn't ready to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I would have much rather have that conversation after, like, we get to know each other.
Yeah. So for context, for those that are listening, she was talking to someone recently, and in the midst of the conversation, everything has been going great, but then he brought up that he Googled her, and she does, there's some bad press, but as people, anyone that's in the entertainment industry, people can pay for bad press. Yeah. People can pay for headlines and stuff. You know, so there's
and like there's so much fake news out here that you don't know what's true, what's not. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather, like, you know, we get to know each other organically before the whole Google thing and then asking the questions and everything. Yeah. I was just blindsided by that, and it really hurt my feelings. And it wasn't even the fact that he was being mean, because he wasn't being mean. For sure. Like, he was being kind about it. He was being open about it. I understand. But, like, for me, like, I don't know, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I just didn't pursue it any longer. Like, I just let that go. And I don't know if I was, like, being, like, weird for letting that go, but it really bothered me. Like, it really did.
I mean, I guess the way he would address it was definitely understanding. But I know me personally, anyone that I'm expressing interest in, I'm going to put on my little FBI hat. I'm going to see what I can find out about this person. I'm checking Facebook. I'm checking Instagram.
Well, shit,
I'm checking Twitter.
Doing that.
I'm checking Google. Girl, yeah, because you never know.
But especially I did Google it back after that, and I was like, damn, motherfucker, you got to pass too. I'm like, we both got life experience. Yeah. Like, well, shit, I don't know. He's probably traumatized just like me. I don't fucking know. But, like, I don't know. I just let that go because I felt so sad after that conversation that I was like, my life is so peaceful. Like, I don't need to feel sad. Like, I don't need anything that's going to trigger me to cry.
And that was the first time you felt sad, like, in a while. Yeah. From a guy, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not a sad person unless I'm, like, on, you know, seeing the shit that's going on in the world. But, like, I'm a very optimistic person. Yeah. I'm very happy all the time. I'm very chill. Like, I have so much love in my household, like, with my toddler, my beautiful girls. Like, I'm just so happy all the time, and I'm at peace. So, like, if a guy gives me an energy where, like, you hurt my feelings, and it's just like, oh, my God, no, stay away. Stay away. I don't care how irresistible you are.
So maybe just a little bit. No, I don't.
Damn, I just wanted to have fun with you. Why you gotta get all fucking deep?
Because he was intentionally trying to do his research, because he was like trying to court you probably. Like,
I don't know. But it just turned me off, and that's how I'm a weirdo like that. I'm like, I'm not even gonna go any further like that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like so guarded now. Like I'm so.
So do you think, so I know, I mean, you've had some difficult relationships in your past, and then, you know, you bringing up the fact that you're guarded. So are you allowing yourself the opportunity to receive love?
I think I am, in a way.
Can you do so if you're guarded, though?
I don't know. Maybe not. Damn, girl, you're like a therapist right now.
No, but that's real, because, I mean, a lot of times, like, we say we want this, we want that, but it's just like, Are you allowing yourself to receive this or receive that? Like, you know, I mean, because you just said that you're guarded, and can you receive someone that will want to pour into you without you thinking like, oh, maybe, because you can still like have trigger points from your previous relationships. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, you may have someone that comes in like genuine, wholeheartedly, and then, you know, but you're looking at all the bad things and nitpicking it because of you being guarded.
I think I'm just smart enough now, like, to know, like, my third eye and my higher self is just so, like, on point now to know that that's not what I want. Like, that's not how, like, for me personally, I felt like that was kind of disrespectful. Okay. Because for me, like, as an adult, I would have had a conversation over dinner. I would have been gentle about it. Let me get to know you as a person, and then we could talk about our Google shit. You know, like, for me, that was just a huge turnoff, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, and like, I just couldn't continue with that. It was just done. It was dead from there.
So what's like your dream person? Like, what is a dream scenario? How you would want them to approach you?
Girl, I need a knight in shining armor. Like a sweet, loving, kind gentleman, like a gentleman, like just somebody who's gentle and like loving and sweet and kind. Like I love a man like that. I feel like the most masculine men are able to be gentle. The most masculine men are fucking, you know, like brave enough to like love and just be gentle and kind, you know? I don't know if that answers your question, but I don't know.
mean, that's someone
I don't want a little bitch, but at the same time, I don't want like a little pussy, but at the same time, like, you know, a real strong man is going to be brave enough to like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's someone, you want someone that you feel protected by, but also feel adorned by as well, too.
Right.
So
because like we can't let our guard down unless we feel
safe,
loved, safe, and protected. You know what I mean?
That's it, though.
I didn't feel protected when the guy called me about the Google thing. I kind of felt attacked. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like it was like he put any thought into that. I just feel like he called me like, so I Googled you and yeah, what's it like now? What's your relationship with your ex now and everything? And I don't want to be interrogated like that because, yeah, it was a little too much for me to handle. I was like, nope.
I mean, look, you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know, I'm proud of you for just like practicing your own, you know, your own form of discernment. Like if you feel like, okay, like, no, this is off, like I'm good for it. Yeah. But one thing I will always say is too, is just like, you know, as like, I mean, you do want a partner. You have talked about that before, but don't be afraid to let your guard down. Like you can still practice good discernment. You can still trust your gut instincts and stuff, but don't be afraid to put your guard down. You know, I mean, as like we say, it's a dark world out there. It's a cold world out there, but it's just, there's a beauty in our gentleness. There's a beauty in just like us being able to be in receiver mode too. Yeah. But also, you know, I was like, no, but that's why I was like so like thrown off by that because I was very in receiving mode. Like I don't text guys. Like I never text guys. Like I never, but like with him, like I was texting him. We were like having a good communication. Like I was showing him, I was like really into him. Yeah. And like that takes a lot for me to do. Like I don't do that with nobody. Yeah. Like literally nobody. So I was like showing him like, I really like you. Like, but then that. And then you gotta come and attack me with this?
Yeah, like damn, you fucked it up. Like it just threw me off. And then I got turned off. That's it. That's the quickest way to like. Yeah. It.
So we talked life. We talked your background. We talked your career. We talked dating, relationships, all of that. There's been so many different evolutions of you, so many different versions, and this is something that's like it's still ongoing. The next time you see me,
I'm gonna be married. I'm like married, girl.
Yeah, you never know. I would not be surprised, and I'm gonna be like, yes, girl, go for it.
I feel like it's getting there. It's getting close.
I know. I think so too. Like it's so weird. You know what's so funny? I've never been the type of girl that's like, oh, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I've never been that type of girl because, again, it does play a part of the, you know, just the relationships I've seen growing up. But I think like now because like where I'm at with my healing journey, where I'm at just kind of like how I view things and just like what I want for myself and what I want for, you know, my surroundings, I'm like, marriage doesn't sound so bad. Like, because I'm like, it sounds cute. Like I want to have fun. I want to have a partner that I have fun with, that I enjoy life with, that... You know, because again, I had such a negative view of marriage before that I'm just like, yo, everyone that I know that's married is miserable. Everyone that I know,
oh my God,
yeah, and I'm like, I don't want that. But now I'm like, no, like I want to set a new standard, and it also does help that you know, recently within the last couple of years, I've been around like some pretty healthy marriages that, you know, that now I'm like, okay, I see it, like I see that it can be done, and so I'm thankful for like, you know, those friendships that I do have, like those loving marriages. That I'm just like, okay, this can be a thing. So, but yeah, I feel like, you know, now I'm just, and I've never like really said that out loud or anything, but now I'm just like, I know, it's like, but I'm just, I'm okay. Like I do want a partner. Like I do want someone that.
Yeah, same. I want to share.
With. Yeah.
I want to share wonderful things with somebody.
Because we have so many exciting things through all of our pivots.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Talk about our pivots with our partners and stuff, but. But no, just again, like this whole concept of evolution, you know, this is a big thing about, you know, within this podcast is like, you know, highlighting our evolution. Like what's been the favorite part of like your journey so far? Again, you have so many different chapters, you have so many different layers, but what's the one thing that you're most proud of when it comes to like your personal journey?
I think like finding myself and being the woman that I am today. And, like, I'm proud that I gave myself the opportunity to explore. Like, even if it was scary, even if I was scared of being judged, at least I gave myself the chance. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of that. And I'm just proud of, like, how strong I am. Like, I'm a very strong woman. Like, whoa. It's crazy. Like, I'm very, very strong. And I'm a great mother. So.
Period.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
I love the relationship you have with your daughters. It's so cute. Especially, I can't believe your oldest is 21 now.
I know. Like, oh my God. I love her. We're going to LA on Friday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we hang out. We do. She's such an amazing kid. She has her own apartment. Yeah, she's a bougie apartment. She's like doing so good. She's in college and she's amazing. Like, I have really good kids.
You do.
Yeah, like I'm like, wow, like they came out amazing. It's a testament to you as a mother.
Yeah. You know, shout out to you. Like you raised them.
They're like decent girls, like decent kids, man. Like they're amazing. And yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of my life. Like, I'm happy. I love who I am as a person. So I know I deserve a good man. You know what I mean? Okay. And I deserve to feel happy in every stage of my relationship when it comes from the talking stage to every stage, you know? So that's why it was a big thing, like, for me. Like, if I feel any little inkling of, like, this is not the person for me, I got to tell you, the universe, that's not what I want. So the universe can keep bringing me something more. Because back then I didn't listen. And it just kept getting bad and bad and bad. Like, I should have let go of my ex the first time I knew he wasn't the one for me, but I didn't listen. You have to listen to your intuition, ladies. Intuition is a huge thing. Like, you're going to know when a person is not good for you, no matter how much you desire them. You got to let them go, and you have to choose yourself first. And I promise, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But once you get through that, it's so refreshing to find yourself again and to heal and to really love yourself. And to give yourself an opportunity to get something better. You know? Like, there's a lot of girls that don't want to let go of their partner because they don't feel like they could find somebody else. But, like, you can. Find yourself first. Love yourself. Heal. And I promise you, like, I promise, it's so much better on the other side of, like, that heartbreak. I'm telling you.
And on that note...
I know that was kind of deep, but, like, it's so true.
Deep. It's so true.
It's so true.
It is. Again, like, you know, we're always... You know, just to talk about, like, what we said before, like, we associate love with sacrifice. We associate love with pain. We sacrifice, like, oh, no, we went through this. Like, we can go through all this together because we love each other. Oh, yeah, you can cheat. I stood by them because I loved them. Like, no, that's not love. Like, that's not love. It's not.
It's a trauma bond. It's a trauma bond. That's what that is.
And, you know, I really want more people to wake up about that. And just, again, like, the whole concept of just, like, putting yourself first. And they're everyone, again, joy. I'm telling you this, we have been robbed for the feeling of joy for centuries. And this is something I'm so adamant with myself. And again, everyone's like, Delilah, you're always so happy, you're always so love, you're always so this, whatever. Yes, because I choose to be. Like, you know, that joy is my birthright. You have to choose it. Because again, this world will try to pull you down. But, you know,
it's a dark place. You can see it all around.
It is.
It's so crazy because I seen a meme on Instagram. It said, so many men grew up seeing their mother doing everything all by herself that they think that their wife is supposed to do everything all by herself. And I was like, whoa, like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of these guys, they've been through trauma too. You know what I mean? They've grown up in fucked up households too. It's just, you know, it's choosing to heal yourself before you start to date. So it's 2 healed people and 2 people who are very aware that they want to be happy.
So like, you would say like you're... a generational curse that you've broken, again, is just choosing joy, choosing yourself. Yeah, definitely. Sure. Like, having the courage to be alone. Because I never in my life was single. This is the first time I'm single. And oh my God, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Like, it is really amazing. I'm not even lying. Like, it's really peaceful. Like, my household is peaceful. Like, I don't have to be perfect 24/7. I don't have to cater to someone's feelings or emotions. I don't have to, like, it's such a stress-free way of life. Like, you know, and yeah, like, I get the urge and stuff, you know, that's why I have my friend. But, I do want a partner, but it has to be a partner who's flowing, like, who has a good flow. Like, I have a good flow. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be very, very amazing. Or if not, I don't want it. But I think I have to be with, like, a free spirit like I am. You know, someone who's very, like, big on, like, you know, arts, maybe somebody creative, maybe somebody who cares about other human beings, maybe a business person who travels. I want somebody to travel a lot because I don't want them being up my ass. That's the worst. I hate when a guy's up my ass. Like, it's horrible. Yeah, but it's good. Like, and I want to travel with my partner and everything. But, yeah, it's going to have to be somebody really special and complex to be with me because I'm not, like... the average person. Yeah. She's like, I'm a little... Yeah. I have a very different way of thinking, too. Like, but we embrace it.
You gotta be a little crazy like me.
It's what makes you you. We embrace all of it. Yeah. All right. And before we conclude, I just want to ask you, what are 3 things you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my children, and I'm grateful for my beautiful, blessed life and all the people who love me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I love you guys. And I love my family, my friends. I'm grateful for, good people being surrounded.
Continued evolution.
I'm grateful for you too, bitch.
No, but seriously, again, like, I'm very proud of you. It's been beautiful.
Same,
It's been an honor to watch your journey, to see everything unfold,
Same.
see all your pivots, but you keep championing on, and I'm so proud of you. So I can't wait to see what else is going to unfold within the next month, within the next 3 months, 6 months.
Girl, within the next day or two.
Your life is going to be a year from now. But one thing about Christina, if you're not following her, make sure you follow her. Make sure you support her music. I'm so excited that you're now independent and going to do your thing and just see what happens. You just dropped a song recently.
Yes,
too.
I dropped a song, so it may finally completed my project, my EP. So yeah, it's good. I'm excited. The music's good. The EP is out, guys. It's called Una Misión.
Yeah,
a mission, because it's
that's
been a mission.
Another thing too. Like, you're singing in Spanish now too.
Yes, I grew up singing in Spanish in first
in church.
La Primera Iglesia Bautista. So, First Spanish Baptist Church. So I grew up singing in Spanish, and the project is called Una Misión, a mission, because it's been a mission, but we did it. I'm here. I'm an independent artist. I'm releasing my own music, and I love it. It's amazing. The music is really great, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna continue on, and
I'm here for it. Here's to us just living in our true authentic selves, being free, trying our best to feel joy regardless of how this world be trying us, and just open ourselves up to receive love.
Yes. Yep. That's a big thing. Be yourself, guys. Like, who cares if people judge? Just be yourself. Be true to yourself.
Period. Yep. Thank you for tuning into the Jefatona podcast. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, subscribe, and maybe leave a review or two. Until next time, love you. Bye.